Hi, I've just come back from a meal out with friends. So I thought before I turn in, I'd talk to you about a book that I've just finished. And it came out towards the beginning of the month, so it's not been out that long. And it's a YA, and it's called Not That Kind of Hero by Alexia Casale. On the surface, this is a teen romance, but it also looks at domestic violence and the effect upon the children, what they've witnessed. Orla, her mother and siblings, met Rox and her mother and Rox's sister at a refuge centre for vulnerable women, for women who were seeking refuge. Orla's mum and Rox's mum, they became friends and they decided to move into a flat with all the kids. And now the two mums work 2 or 3 jobs each, trying to make ends meet, because between them they've got, I think it's something like 7 children. It's not an easy life. They don't have the luxuries. It's sort of trying to find money to meet the rent and feed the kids, all that sort of stuff. But Orla and Rox, they are almost like surrogate parents because the mums are working all the time. These two who are taking their A-levels are almost like surrogate parents. They look after, they parent the younger ones. Orla sees herself very much as a sidekick. She sees that her actions allow the others to do and be what they want. And she is happy. She enjoys this. She wants nothing more than seeing her family happy and the flat full of love. So she is quite happy. But Rox is feeling guilty because she's going off to uni. And she knows that when she goes to uni, there's not enough money for both girls to go to uni, so Orla's going to be staying behind and shouldering the burden of looking after all the other kids. And she feels guilty about this, and no matter what Orla says, she doesn't get that Orla doesn't mind. Orla is quite happy. She doesn't see it as a hardship to be doing this. But then Rox persuades her to audition for a place on this 2-week drama intensive, because she knows Orla she always liked acting at school, so why not? Do something fun for a change. And she would look after the kids while Orla's doing this, because after all, Orla's going to be looking after the kids for the next 3 years while Rox is away. So she auditions and she gets a sort of like a scholarship for this 2-week intensive. So it's all paid for. And when she's there, she finds that everybody else has got drama experience. Everybody else has got their places paid for by the parents. And these kids have a very, very different lifestyle to Orla. They're not living hand to mouth almost, everything's easy for them. And so she's afraid that they're never going to accept her, that she's going to be the outsider. But within the 2 weeks, she comes into her own. The exploration, Orla talks a lot about before and after, and the exploration of the 2 different situations is very well done. But you do get, I did, because Orla talks constantly about before. She mustn't do this because before. She's constantly talking about this. And I feel that maybe it could have been not toned down, but we had a lot of it. Do you see what I mean? It was, she was, well, I suppose a 17-year-old girl, it's always going to be in the background, but it was bombarding the reader with it all the time. And apart from Orla, Rox and Cassian, who I never mentioned, he's one of the lads on the drama course, you don't really get to know the other characters. You don't really get to know the two mums or the siblings. You've got the drama school, they're almost two-dimensional. You've got the stereotype of the spoiled rich girl, but the characters are almost two-dimensional. They're not fleshed out like Orla, Rox and Cassian. So that's, you didn't get to know the other characters. You didn't get a feel for them, not really. But you do root for Orla. You are on Orla's side. As she struggles to decide whether she wants to continue being a sidekick or whether she wants to find her own story. And the romance was sweetly done as well. So that is Not That Kind of Hero. Not That Kind of Hero by Alexia Casale. So happy reading. Take care.